Eckhart Tolle. Do you guys know who that is?
No, what's Eckhart Tolle?
This whole album is inspired by Eckhart Tolle. And I'm going to spend my whole time talking about this man so you can understand what Kendrick was talking about on this album. Eckard Tolle is a spiritual advisor from Germany. He has written books. One's called The New Earth. One is called, I can't remember the first one. He was made popular. He wrote that first book. I think he lived in Canada at the time. He wrote that first book. And it didn't sell very well until Oprah made it a Oprah Book of the Month club and brought him on to her show and all that. This was years ago. This is why I want to bring up Eckhart Tolle. First of all, because he brought him up, so this is his fault. He said his name several times, and he put his voice on his album. This whole thing is inspired by this man's viewpoint. And to me, this puts the Christian hip hop desire for Kendrick to be a Christian to bed. All right. Eckhart Tolle believes that there is no God, wow. That we are all gods, that Jesus was not the Christ, that he was a Christ, that all of us can be Christ. The only thing that Jesus did was he was able to ascend his consciousness to understand that he was a Christ, but all of us can do it. So was Buddha, so was Confucius, so was all these other people. He believes that there is no sin. He believes that there's no heaven and hell. But what he does is he uses Christian terms to confuse people to think he's talking about Christian stuff, right? The new earth, right? Kendrick said that on this album. I'm waiting for the new earth. Christian brain says, oh, he must talk about the new heavens and new earth and, Revelations, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely not. The new earth to him is a time when everybody's enlightened enough to understand that they're gods. And that there's no sin, there's no right and wrong. Kendrick references that as well. There's no right and wrong. And that, we'll, ascend to a higher level of consciousness and we'll stop all the wars and stuff. That's what this man is. That's Kendrick's therapist on this album. All right. So I know therapy is good. Therapy is great. I know those words sound really good, but you have to vet your therapist. So I'm vetting Kendrick's therapist right now. This man is not of God. This is new age to the fullest. This man's got Kendrick praying to trees and plants. He's talking about there's no right and wrong. I mean, it sounds Christian-y enough to confuse people. But I'm telling you, go research this man. This man is not a Christian. The guy that Kendrick is following, that he has all up in his new company, PG Lang, is not a Christian, and he has an agenda. I don't know if this guy actually believes any of the things he says. He said he suffered from depression, and he had a dream, and he realized that he had to, die to self, Christian phrase, and that there was no more self, and now all his depression was gone, and now he started teaching that to everybody else. John. It's 100% a Lester Crowley, you are your own God. This is Satanism. It's the first temptation from the devil. Eat this apple, you'll become God. You'll know what God knows. It's exactly the same. So I've done this dance with Kendrick when he was doing Hebrew Israelite stuff, when he was doing all this kind of stuff. This is 100% not Christian stuff. So you can put that to bed. Now, album was dope. Sounded okay. He's good at rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could do the art stuff versus I just want y'all to know what this really is, though. He said he couldn't write for 1,000 whatever days. This is what inspired him to start writing. This is what is motivating him, is this kind of stuff. And it's showing up in the lyrics. And it sounds positive enough, and it's going to catch the ears of enough people who are either Christian or Christian adjacent, so it sounds okay. But I just don't want anybody to be confused. You could like it for the art of it. He's really good at rap. Some of the songs sound good. We're going to do a line for line where I'm going to pick some of the songs I thought were good and go up against Jeremaya. I just want you to know, because I know when this thing started, when Lecrae, had Kendrick in one of his little snippet videos or whatever, I think collectively we all were like, man, is Kendrick going to get saved? Is he a Christian? No. Unfortunately not. Keep praying for him. Keep praying for him. Maybe something he'll turn around. I think he's seeking. He's obviously seeking, right? You know, because last album sounded super Hebrew Israelite. Now he sounds super New Age. I don't know where he is. So Kendrick, if you're listening, this is not it. It sounds close, but it's actually the opposite of it. It's 100% away from it. It just sounds like it is it. So I just don't be confused. And the reason why I wanted to call it out so forcefully, because I could have just been, the track with, Savior track was dope, We could do that. But I'm just saying, like, he called this out. He had Kodak Black talk about this man. He said he was his therapist. He had his actual voice on the album. This is what this album was about. This was almost like when The Truth had Old Boy on his album. Yeah, it's like this was inspired by him. So if it was, I just want you to know what him is. This guy, his name is fake, by the way, but this is what he is. There's no God to him. We are all gods. There's no sin. There's no right and wrong. We are our own gods. We're our own Christ. That's what this man believes. 100%. Look it up for yourself. So just don't get confused. You could like Kendrick as a rapper. He's more positive than other rappers. That's fine. But the heart of it is completely opposite than what we believe. I see so many of our Christian brothers and sisters in the genre like embrace him in a way, defend him in a way. Again, you could do that, but just know what the truth is of what he's ingesting right now. That's what he spit out on this album. Some truth, some false, but the guy advising him, his spiritual counselor, is this dude, Eckard Tolle. So look him up, find out what he really believes.
Sean, is this album more demonic than the new movie that you saw?
That's the difference, is that Doctor Strange is very obviously demonic. It's like there's no way you could be, is this demonic? Yeah, but I mean, I don't even think the people who made it believe in it. The why this is a little bit harder is because Kendrick he even says it. I told you I was a Christian, but not today. I'm talking to plants and trees and such. Like he's admitting to you that it ain't what y'all thought it was. I'm on something else right now, and the something else right now is this dude.
So let's talk about the album cover then.
That's the crown thing, right? So people are like, okay, well, no, he wasn't saying he was Jesus. He was just saying, like he's the king of his family or the king of rap or whatever. No, what he's saying is it's a symbol of what this guy believes, is that we're all Christ. And the only reason you're not acting like Christ is because you're not enlightened enough yet to become Christ. You can hear him talking about all this stuff on Oprah in like the 90s or whatever. Like this is all what he believes.
I'm saying this right now. Whoever edited our videos and put them out on IG or TikTok, you got to put this part in. You have to. Like we got to edit it and put it out to the masses. We're going to be haters for a couple years, but
I understand that.
It's the truth though. You're saying everything. I didn't know about the guy, but
I knew it was New Age. I knew Jeremaya when Jeremaya was talking about, I was like, Jeremaya is sensing what I found out about this dude. It's hidden. It's hidden in the fabric of the lyrics. It pops up all over this album. Yeah. The same thought process of the new earth, the pain body. It's just all New Age nonsense. So just so you know, that's what it is. Now, does it mean that Kendrick isn't good at rap and that some of the songs are dope? That goes for any artist. But at the end of the day, Christian artists, non-Christian artists, Christian hip hop or not, you got to know what's motivating the purpose behind the lyrics. That goes for us on the inside too. You could say you're a Christian hip hop artist and rap, but are you letting some of this other crap seep into your theology, like your actual heart motivation? Are you like lowering your wall down and saying that's not so bad? That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about people's love for Kendrick will lower their defenses against some of the stuff that's trying to get into this body. No, I'm talking about Christian hip hop. I'm talking about the actual kingdom. Like that's what's trying to get into the body, trying to mix it in so it doesn't seem that different.
Did you, Sean? Let me ask you a question real quick. Did you you paid attention to the point of? Did you do the research about Homie? Because I didn't know. I remember hearing a voice on a part where he was talking, and somebody I saw a comment like, "Is that Ravi Zachariah?" And I was like, "I don't think so." But like, what made you research him? Maybe because he said it, because I know some parts went over my head.
Said his name so many times, and his voice is on the one of the records. I can't remember which one.
Got you. Got you. Okay.
But like if you listen to the I Mother or Mother Love or whatever it's called, he really gets into this stuff. Like the whole basis of it is around this concept that this man believes. So it's like, does that mean Kendrick is a terrible person? No, it just means he allowed something into his heart that's not of God. And that could happen to any of us. But it needs to be called out so at least you know that the lyrics that his guy is saying out loud are being informed by this dude. And if you knew what this dude believed, some people would be like, well, I don't think that dude is all that wrong. Then I would contend that you're not a Christian. You just need to be clear about that. Like, that's not Christianity.
Y'all want the bombs back? That was a bomb right there.
The bombs back, man. Come on.
So I'm not trying to do this to be like, sensational or whatever. It's just, it is what it is. He brought him on the album. I didn't do it. If this was just him rapping, and I'll be like, okay, cool. Like, I don't agree with Kendrick and everything, but he's dope. But he brought him on. He brought the man on the album. He brought him like to his worship service and gave him the mic. That's what happened.
So basically, what Sean is saying is this to anybody there. We're saying, and I think all of us are saying the same thing. Basically, what we're saying is Kendrick is good at what he does. He's a good rapper. He put out a good project, but his theology is off. Basically, his theology. If you're a Christian, if you're not a Christian, then this really don't really apply to you. Or just know what you're getting into. But if you're a Christian, we're telling you that it's heavy New Age stuff that sounds Christian, but it really isn't. So just understand that, like,
Was it ever Christian to begin with?
That's the thing.
I think what Good Kid, Mad City. I think people thought that.
It's Sunday school music, like what Jeremaya said, right? There's a lot of people out here in and out of Christian hip hop that went to Sunday school and they learned the biblical stuff, right? And I assume including Eckhart, right? Eckhart's whole thing was he went and studied all the religions, found problems with all of them, and then picked the best of all the religions and kind of made a super religion, right? That's kind of what he believes about himself. But he talks about it in kind of riddles and so if you just catch a random video of his, you wouldn't know everything I'm telling you right now. But all of it is in his book, like literally line for line. This is what I'm not inferring his belief. He says it's plain as day. This is what I believe. So it's just hidden. It just sounds, because he uses Christ, he uses New Earth, he uses God, he uses Christian words. So it sounds the same.
So all right. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm doing a timeline here. Kendrick spirituality. Section 80. Good Kid, Mad City. I would say he was a dude that went to church who if you would have asked him at that time, I'm a Christian, right? To Pimp a Butterfly, he still had those Christian stuff in him, and he was still saying Christian stuff. If you listen to It's Gonna Be All Right, he's telling the warnings of temptation of Satan and everything like that. I hope Sean's okay. You good, bro?
I've been attacked. The camera's fighting me. Mics are fighting me.
That's the devil, because we're doing the devil. We exposing the devil.
Well, it's too late. It's too late.
Yeah, I know.
I got it out.
But then also you go from that to dang. If we can say dang, I've been saying the real one all week. If we go from that, at the end of that album, I was mad. I was like, man, come on, dude. Like, you hear about the Hebrew Israelite stuff. So he's going from, wow, this is good. Christian, Hebrew Israelite, had a delay of, like, I don't know, even going into the Black Panther soundtrack, where when we talked about Black Panther, you start talking about committed science, because in that movie, committed science was there, and talking to your ancestors and stuff, to where he has a delay now, didn't put out no album, and once that delay happened, he didn't have nothing. He didn't have nothing else to write about. And then
but listen to what he said on the album. He said, I had nothing to write about, but I asked God to tell me what to say, and now you're hearing him. This is him. So basically, that's it right there. He just admitted it. He asked for God to tell him what to say, and now you're hearing him. He's basically saying, now you're hearing God. That's me.
But
I asked for God's help, and I answered, yes, this is what you need to say.
Here's the thing. For our generation, our generation after us, even some people, I always say my sister's generation because she's older than me by 10 years, that's what it is. If you look at it, started off in the church thing happened, Black Lives Matter happened, mad at the church, going to Hebrew Israelite. I know people in that religion say after that they start going into spirituality. That's just like he literally, if you watch it, that's it. That's what's going on in the culture right now. From church to I don't know if the church is real, blah blah blah, to Hebrew Israelitism or I'm the original people, to spirituality and New Ageism.
Yeah, I'm not saying this to be angry at Kendrick. Like again, we're about to do a line for line where I picked 7 songs that I thought were dope, right? I'm mad at the Eckhart dude, straight up. I ain't gonna lie about that. I'm mad at him. But I'm just trying to make sure that, you know, as we're brothers and sisters, right? So as your brother, I'm just trying to say you have to have super keen ears for true and false. So I can watch a Doctor Strange movie or listen to a Kendrick album and be like, okay, it has to be super sharp. And the way to get super sharp is you have to dig into your Bible. It can't just be surface level relationship with Jesus. You got to know his birthday. You got to know his, you got to get to know what he likes. And that's all metaphor for, you need to get to know him for real, because there's a lot of people that know him too, that know how to twist what he actually said into what they want you to think. So you got to be super keen. I don't care if you watch any of these crazy shows or movies, as long as you have a sharp ear to be like, that ain't right. That sounds okay. That ain't right. It's the bone from the meat, right?
Yeah.
You got to be super sharp. I don't know if all of us are super sharp yet, and I'm worried because I've seen too many people fall to all these nonsense theories about God that pop up on the internet. YouTube can send somebody from, I'm a Christian to not a Christian, like super fast.
Yeah. That's
so
true.
You just got to be super sharp about everything you know about God.
Is Ye coming down this direction too?
I don't know, man. Again, none of this is directed to Kendrick. He may be on a journey where he'll loop back around and see the truth. I don't know. But I know that this Eckhart dude is intentionally preaching a message that is 100% antichrist. 100%. So it's not even close to being true. It's 100% false. So I just want to make sure you know the man behind the pen. Kendrick may be being duped by this as well. So that's between him and God. This guy, he's had a long time to perfect this, and this is what this man either really believes or is a super good con man that knows you're gonna believe it. You know what I mean? Either way, this dude is all about this. This is not like just a part of what he believes. It is the core of what he believes. So go look it up for yourself. Don't believe me.
Wow. Well, Sean, I hope you got the best 7 long flies.
Now, let me get to my singles. First single at the N95. N95 is dope. Mirror.
So just throw the cake in my face and say happy birthday. Okay.
Because I don't have any fear of listening to something like this, and I don't want you guys to have fear of listening to stuff like this. But you have to be like, that's what the armor of God thing is, right? You got to be fortified.
Yeah.
If you got weak points in your armor, this stuff gonna take you out.
Yeah.
But as a child of God, you got to be fortified because you're supposed to go watch this stuff so you can tell your friend what I just said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't solid, then you're going to be like, dang, am I God? Is there right and wrong? Should I pray to a tree? If you dare, then it's too late. It's too late.
Should I pray to the tree? I need them apples.
So that's what the show is here for, is to get you to get solid before you go walk outside and deal with this nonsense. There's a lot of crazy stuff out there. And we've seen too many of our friends that used to be a part of this ministry fall to this nonsense. That's real.
Yeah, it is.
All right. If y'all don't really believe it, then that's cool. Just then tell me that you don't so we can move on. But I'm assuming that if you say you're a Christian, you believe what the Bible says about all this stuff, right? I'm telling you, this man does not. And Kendrick is channeling this man's theology into this album.
Theology. Wow.
What are you going to do about that? So, anyway.
That's why we got Jay Monty. Shout out there.
All right, anyway, let's get back into it. We're going to jump right back. You're in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremaya. Let's go.